Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're ready to begin this evening's board meeting. Sergeant at Arms, everything okay? Thank you. We request all electronic devices be turned off or put in silent mode. Also, please refrain from using flash photography except during the special presentations portion of the meeting. Prior to the start of this evening's meeting, we have been enjoying music from the Cape Coral High School Jazz Program. This is a select group of students from the Jazz Department at Cape Coral High School who recently received the highest rating of Superior at their music performance assessment. Members of this group were also recently featured at the City of Fort Myers Latin Music Festival. I am pleased to welcome you to the October 3rd, 2023 school board meeting. The time is 6:02 p.m. and this meeting is called to order. We will now hear one more song from this amazing group. Thank you. We'll pause briefly, giving these performers time to clear the pit area there. It's great to see that jazz is still alive.
That's right.
student achieves his or her highest personal potential and the district's vision to be a world-class school system. This evening's agenda includes the invocation, presentation of colors and pledge of allegiance, acknowledgments, public comment, consent action items, which include 2 items under board office, 5 items under academic services, and 1 item under which is good cause. Dr. Bernier, would you please provide an explanation of this 1 item?
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, members of the public, we're bringing forth this item for good cause due to the nature of the action. The Florida Administrative Code requires a quick turnaround for district staff to file to protect the district's interests, and such action requires board authorization.
Thank you. As presiding officer, I find there is good cause to add this item to the agenda. There's also 3 items under business services, 2 items under human resources, 7 items under operations, 1 public hearing, and 4 items under the good of the order, other business. Board members, is there a motion to adopt the agenda? Mr. Fisher?
Motion to adopt the agenda tonight, including the good cause item.
Ms. Jordan, second.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Fisher and seconded by Ms. Jordan. Please record your vote. Motion carries 7-0. As is the custom of the board, I will lead us in the invocation. Afterward, Ms. Morgan will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you please stand? Let us pray. We come before you today with gratitude for the opportunity to gather as members of the school board, entrusted with the important task of shaping the future of our educational community. Grant us wisdom, patience, and understanding as we deliberate on matters that affect the lives of our students, teachers, and staff. Help us make decisions that prioritize the well-being and growth of all those who are under our care. We ask for your guidance in promoting an environment of respect and inclusion within our schools, where every student can thrive regardless of their background or circumstances. Bless our educators with the strength and passion to impart knowledge and nurture the hearts and minds of our youth. May they find fulfillment in their work, knowing they make a profound difference in the lives of our students. As we engage in discussions and decision making, may we always seek the common good, putting the interests of our students first. We recognize the challenges we face and the responsibilities we bear. Grant us the courage to address these challenges with grace and resilience. We pray for a successful and productive school board meeting. May our efforts today reflect on our commitment to serving our community and advancing the cause of education. Amen.
Introducing the cadet who will present the colors tonight is Lieutenant Colonel John Blyler, Senior Army Instructor for the Cape Coral High School JROTC program. Lieutenant Colonel Blyler retired from the Army in September 2013 after 26 years of service. This is his 9th year as JROTC instructor in the district.
Thank you, Ms. Morgan. Presenting the national colors tonight is Cadet Jacob Martinez, the Cadet Commander of the Cape Coral High School JROTC program. Cadet Martinez serves as the Director of Outreach in Cape Coral Student Government Association. He actively participates on the JROTC Raider team as well as the JROTC Drone Competition team. He is currently applying to and has received offers from various junior military colleges around the nation. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. This evening's student representative is Casey Morset. Casey is a senior at Cypress Lake High School. She currently participates on the varsity track and field, the flag football team, the soccer teams, and was highlighted as this district's Student Athlete of the Month for September. You left off cheerleading. Sorry. She told me she was cheerleading. Okay. Not that she doesn't have time to do anything else. She is a member of the National Honor Society of Dance Arts, the Student Government Association, the National Senior Honor Society, and the yearbook staff at her school. Casey currently holds a 4.28 GPA, and she plans to attend UCF in the summer to study kinesiology while minoring in business. After college, Casey plans to start her own physical therapy business and stay as connected to the athletic industry as possible. Please welcome Casey. Next on the agenda are acknowledgements for the month of October. Casey?
The character word for October is respect. Respect means showing regard for the value of persons or things through courteous consideration and appreciation. The design you see displayed on the screen was created by Kristen Huffman, an 11th grade student at Lehigh Senior High School. The School Board of Lee County acknowledges the following events for the month of October 2023. Disability History and Awareness Weeks, October 2nd through 13th. National School Lunch Week, October 9th through 13th. National School Bus Safety Week, October 16th through the 20th. National Red Ribbon Week, October 23rd through the 31st. National Principals Month, National Bullying Prevention Month, and the National Italian American Month.
Thank you, Casey. The next item on the agenda is public comment. Attorney Dupe Bruno, please address the item of public comment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good evening. School board policy provides the opportunity at this point in the meeting to address the board concerning any matter on this meeting's agenda or any other matter relevant to the operation of the school district. Please complete a public comment card and put it in the basket provided. If you need a public comment card, they are provided by our staff. The rules concerning public comment are posted in the back and will be made from the podium in the front center aisle. Please be advised that the board will not respond during public comment to remarks made by speakers. Concerns will be addressed by the superintendent or his staff as necessary, and the chair may comment as deemed appropriate, as may the superintendent, if deemed appropriate, at the conclusion of public comment. The purpose of public comment is to provide feedback on district issues such as duties, responsibilities, decisions, and the general operation of the district. The school board is viewpoint neutral during public comment. We ask that decorum be kept and respect be shown, which is what is expected when a government agency conducts official business. Therefore, abusive language such as cursing, insults, derogatory language levied against an individual or a class of people are prohibited. Further, personal attacks such as name-calling are prohibited. In addition, clapping, hissing, and booing, or a display of temper during public comment is prohibited. Speakers who fail to follow proper decorum in the chambers will be ruled out of order by board chair or the parliamentarian. Any speaker continuing with such remarks will be required to relinquish the microphone per Board Policy 0169.1 and may be removed from the chambers by the Sergeant at Arms. Per Board Policy 0169.1, the time per speaker is 3 minutes if there are 20 speakers, 2 minutes if there are 30, and 1 minute if there are 31 speakers or more. The maximum time allotted for public comment is 1 hour, 60 speakers. You will find a countdown on the big screens in the front of the room. Once your time has elapsed, the microphone will automatically shut off. Please state your name when you approach the microphone, and I will call your names 5 speakers at a time. Please follow staff's direction when lining up. Mr. Chairman, there are 4 individuals that wish to address the board this evening. The time per speaker is 3 minutes.
Thank you. Is there anyone who would like to speak and has not filled out a comment card? Seeing none, if you please proceed.
Thank you,
Attorney
Mr.
Bruno.
Chairman. Will the following individuals please line up? Dr. Paula Porter, Jerry Ware, Robert Daniels, Denise Ibero.
Good evening and happy Banned Books Month, or week. I'm Dr. Paula Porter from Lehigh Acres. I wish to speak about an issue I noticed when reading Board Policy PO 2522, Challenges to Adoption or Use of Instructional Library or Reading Materials. I'm quoting the first few lines of this policy. The following individuals may contest the adoption of specific instructional material or object to the use of specific material used in a classroom made available in a school library or included on a reading list. A, parent of a student in the district and resident of the county. As an author, editor, English and literature professor, the use of "and" in that case means that both of the criteria must be met by the person issuing the challenge. In other words, those who do not have a student in school do not meet the stated criteria. I also consulted with 2 colleagues who are law professors to further verify the legal use of "and," and they indicated again, quoting, "And means both are required. If or is used, then one or the other can challenge." As the policy is written, many book challenges submitted by others who are not parents then should not be accepted as they do not meet policy criteria. Another issue noticed in a few of the challenges I found on the school board website is a requirement for the complainant to read the book in its entirety. Some of the forms reviewed are copying and pasting content from a website called booklooks.org. This is not following the challenge form itself. I would argue this is plagiarism as the original source is not acknowledged and is a form of cheating, as well as a strong indication that the submitter did not read the entire book. I find it hypocritical, just a little bit, to take the moral high road of protecting students of banning a book through lying and cheating on the challenge forms. To meet the criteria of the policy, I would suggest that any challenge that is noted, copied from another site, from another source, be rejected. These forms are in violation of the expected requirements of the book challenge and are submitted through dishonest means. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jerry Ware, and I'm speaking this evening on behalf of those kids that walked from the Renaissance to James Stevens and over at Franklin Park. On Monday morning, I received a call that one of the kids had been hit. I had addressed this with Dr. Malloy during the proximity hearings that I did not feel that that was a very safe area for kids to be walking. So fortunately, this child only has a broken arm and a broken leg. My question to you this evening is, what do you plan to do to enhance the safety of those kids walking from the Renaissance to James Stevens and Franklin Park? Thank you very much.
Hi, Denise Eberly, 22-year resident of Alva. Your responses last meeting demonstrated you did not listen to us at all. This is how they translated to each and every one of us. Mr. Fisher, your comment was dismissive, basically saying, tough, it's too bad. Ms. Patrika, the people of Alva gave educated, professional, and fact-based information, not antidotes. We are far from country bumpkins. Ms. Giovanelli, It's many, many more than 30 people who spoke. It was 183 per the petition, the most current one, and 60 plus at the Alva Inc. Town Hall, and 195 of a petition I submitted related to the 2016-17 proposed high school in Alva then. Did you watch the Zoom meeting of 2000, or did you watch the Zoom meeting related to the Alva Inc. Town Hall? Many people there. Miss Morgan, you repeated the same speech, I believe it was 2 years ago, related to Benita, almost verbatim. You basically generalized our concerns and just offered us an excuse as justification for your vote. Mr. Persons, you were the most disappointing of all. I don't think an explanation is needed as to why. I only have 57 seconds left. Ms. Langford and Ms. Jordan, thank you for doing the responsible thing. I submitted many emails to all of you. Not one has responded with answers. For NNN, it's $7 million, $3.5 million more dollars than it was for the Gateway School. This school is $140 million. How much over budget are you willing to go for NNN? You will already be $303 million over budget in the capital plan, and this is after borrowing $2.6 million. Was the $7 million phase one, is that part of the $140 million, or is that an additional amount of money related to the NNN school? Those are just some questions I've asked. I have.
Robert Daniels. I wanted to start by saying thank you to Dr. Bernier. You've helped me find my voice and a path to kind of give my role, extra meaning and advocating on behalf of teachers and students. And that would not be something I would have done without your encouragement over the last few months from the podium for coming up and speaking and the compliments you have given. I'd also like to thank the entire board for what looked like a sincere gesture of goodwill towards the teachers with the sharp and significant increases that we received at the close of bargaining last night. I know that you did what you could. I'm going to stay on my point that going back 20 years to when I was in high school here in Florida in Highlands County, that even after the increases adjusted for today's dollars, I'll be making $15,000 less than what my biology teacher was at the same point in their career, those 20 years ago. So I feel like we still have a couple of steps left to go in the same direction. I do wish there were more of us here to continue to hammer that point, but I will remind you that I'm here because still, when the news story started, about a month and a half ago, one of the first reactions from the district was to ask for the name and school of employment for the teachers that were voicing concerns. Speak up, listen up culture is something that I hope we've embraced. It's something I'm taking you on trust that we're following. That was an echo of the previous administration, and it scared a lot of teachers away from speaking. I don't know how many problems are going to go unnoticed now because you have teachers who are still concerned that things are just how they always used to be. I'm concerned how many students with special needs have needs that are not being met because the teachers are unwilling to speak up and criticize what's going on with them. How much is going unknown because of something as simple as requesting teachers who are, saying there is a problem must be identified when they've already gone through the trouble of speaking up. If not publicly, but to at least look into it without trying to find the culprit. Furthermore, on the whole subject of book banning, I feel someone needs to come out and say it. none of these books are banned in Florida. You can go to a public library, you can go to a bookstore, you can go to anywhere to get these books if you want your kids to have them. You just simply cannot go to a public school library for your child to, without your permission, get access to a book that once they read what's in that book, there's no putting the genie back in the bottle. You have done a great step with this to protecting our youth, and I continue to encourage you to put the safety of those students first and the right of the parents to control the moral growth of their children before the advocacy of those who would usurp that right.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes public comment.
Thank you. Mr. Superintendent, do you have anything you would like to
I
address?
do have a couple of places I would like to comment back to if that's possible. Regarding the instructional materials challenge, we'll certainly look into the use of the word "and." I know our legal department takes great pride in their work as they develop policies. We'll make sure that as we get into a second and third reading that particular issue is addressed. The instructional challenge process has been around for a long time. It is not just about library materials. It has to do with curriculum materials and other things. And we'll make sure that we're in compliance with the law. On behalf of the student who was injured walking to school, the district has reached out, and we will continue to reach out. The operations division, along with school safety, whenever a student is hit, goes out and looks at the area. We will continue to devise whatever plans we can, including talking with local government regarding crossing guards and other things. That's one potential solution. I want to make sure that I'm clear to everyone. We're not promising that, but we will always look into a situation that could be deemed unsafe. And if they're unsafe walking conditions, then the district has a responsibility to address those. To the Alva community, Phase 1 is just that, it's Phase 1. It's an opportunity for us to get to the guaranteed maximum price. I know that this is difficult sometimes to understand. When we're budgeting, we're making estimates of what things potentially could cost. The $140 million that was carried in the capital plan is just that. It's an estimate of what the building could cost. That's why this board moved away from just building off an estimate to a Phase 1 of construction, which provides you a guaranteed maximum price. And then we hold the account, through a CMAR contract, we hold those builders accountable for that maximum price. And finally, to Robert, thank you for the kind words. It appears that we have some more discussions to have. Myself and a member of staff will reach out, because I can tell you that request did not come from the superintendent of schools. So I would hope that you would carry back the message that if people need to speak out or get in touch, or however they choose to get their message across, we have Lighthouse and other areas where people can provide that information. We'll take that information seriously, and identities are not necessary. Finally, at the request of the board, I'd like to just speak to a particular item on the agenda tonight. The national teacher shortage has required the school district of Lee County to take unprecedented action to find and hire new teachers. We've increased our recruitment to a year-round commitment. We're going to where teachers are instead of waiting for them to come to us. That's not just physically, but that's through electronic means as well. Our HR team has continued to work hard to grow our own teachers through our high school academies, and our principals are working on academies and scholarships that potentially could lead to employment. I've spent time in elementary schools talking to 3rd and 4th graders. I will tell you that invariably in any class of 3rd and 4th graders, between 3 and 4 hands go up that they are considering teaching as a profession. We must know who these students are. We must nurture them through elementary school, into middle school, with teaching programs that allow them opportunities to tutor and interact with younger children. And then in high school, we must continue to make our magnet program to bring our students a robust education that will allow them to move on to the Florida Gulf Coast, just like many of our students do now, with CLEP courses and requirements already taken care of. Spent countless hours this past year, and will continue with Dr. Timur and the president of Florida Southwest to continue to look for those opportunities for our young people to join our profession. Tonight on the agenda, there's another new step to try to bring even more teachers to our district. It is my recommendation that we enter into an agreement with University Instruction to provide 25 teachers for the school year. They will be assigned to 2 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and a high school. University Instructors employs temporary teachers, similar to the concept of traveling nurses, to help with the national shortage of nurses. Temporary teachers are not the long-term solution, but they are short-term help. The amount budgeted for this contract is $2.9 million, which includes the negotiated 10% discount that we negotiated. However, we will not spend that entire amount. Again, it was a budgetary estimate based upon the cost of the teachers working an entire school year. We currently know these teachers will join us after the start of the second quarter, so there will be cost savings on top of that initial number in the budget. It is important to note this is not additional money being spent. We are spending money on this contract that we would have spent anyway to hire teachers to these open positions. They are just not all there. Yes, they do cost more than the people we've hired. Yes, they do cost more than some of the people we've hired to fill spots, but we do not have teachers for these classrooms, and our students deserve a full-time certified educator to lead their instruction, and the other members of these staffs deserve the opportunity not to have to cover a classroom that's uncovered by a guest teacher. The 25 university instructor employees provided to the district will remain employees of the company until the end of the school year. We will then have the opportunity to offer them a full-time job. It is our belief that we can convince them to stay once we create connections and they settle into the wonderful community that is Southwest Florida. Plus, at that time, we can offer them the health care and retirement benefits their current employer does not provide. We are aware of the economic headwinds that are making it difficult across industries in Southwest Florida to find employees. We continue to fight through them and mention the number of teachers we still need is the fact that we have hired and mentioned often the number of teachers we still need. It is still a fact, though, that we've hired 617 instructional staff members for this school year, which brings us to the issue in our strategic plan concerning retention. If we can retain those teachers, our numbers will continue to dwindle in terms of needing more. These 25 do not fill the gap, but it does help. We will place the 25 teachers at our most at-risk schools with hard to fill openings. For this reason, it's my recommendation to approve the contract to the benefit of our students. Currently, the way it's planned in ensuring that 25 arrive, there will be several teachers placed, one in first grade at G. Weaver Hips, one in fourth grade at G. Weaver Hips, and one in fifth grade at G. Weaver Hips. There will be 4 teachers at Fort Myers Middle, 3 in English Language Arts, and 1 in Science. At River Hall, we'll have 1 in kindergarten, 1 in first grade, 1 in second grade, 2 in third, 1 in fourth, and 2 in fifth. East Lee County High School will get 1 in reading, 3 in 6 through 12 math, and 1 social studies. And finally, Oak Hammock Middle will receive 3 in English Language Arts, 1 in mathematics, and 1 in science. Again, this is not the perfect solution, but it is another attempt for myself, our HR department, and for our commitment to trying to help support, first and foremost, our students who deserve a full-time certified educator, but also to help our staff, our principals, and other individuals to ensure that they don't have to take away from their instruction to cover for someone else. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bernier, for explaining that to the public. Next is the approval of action items under the agenda for consent. The documentation for action items listed under consent is made available to board members 7 business days before the board meeting. We are expected to review all the material, and we have the opportunity to speak with the superintendent one-on-one with any questions we may have regarding the recommendations. Some of these items have also been briefed or workshopped with the board before appearing on the action agenda. Board members, are there any agenda items you wish to pull for discussion under unfinished business tabled items? Mr. Fisher?
I have no items.
Mrs. Giovanelli?
I have none, thank you.
Mrs. Patrica?
No, thank you.
Ms. Jordan?
I have none, thank you.
Mrs. Langford Fleming?
I have none.
Ms. Morgan?
I have none, thank you.
And I have none. Is there a motion to approve the agenda consent items as listed?
I motion to approve the agenda items as consented.
Okay. Is there a second? Ms. Jordan?
Yes.
All right, would you please record your vote? Motion carries 7-0. Dr. Bernier, would you please introduce any administrators in attendance with a new assignment that was approved under the consent agenda?
Be happy to, sir. Mr. Chair, members of the board, members of the public. We have 3 of those individuals in attendance this evening. First, with the change of assignment, is Michelle Dentz. She'll be joining the Early Childhood Learning Services Division as the coordinator of the Head Start program. Second, I have Caitlin Cottrell. We have Caitlin Cottrell, who will be joining the team and family of Ida S. Baker as the new assistant principal. And finally, members of the board, we have Bridget McGill. She will be joining Early Childhood Learning Services, again, as a coordinator for the Head Start program. Mr. Chair, those are all the appointments we have this evening. To all of you, congratulations on your newest assignment. To the family members gathered with you, thank you for your help and support to this point to get them to this part of their career. Understand they will continue to need your support moving forward, some more than ever, because of the nature of the work they do and the importance of the work. Lastly, I just want to remind all the people who have been promoted to administrative positions, this symbolizes a very important process that this school board and the superintendent has for each and one of you. And it can be summarized in one word, that is trust. We trust you to do your job each and every day to the benefit of our children, to ensure that each student achieves his or her highest personal potential, and that you help us achieve the ability and the designation of being a world-class school system. So thank you.
We'll take a moment here. If those that were recognized and their families would like to leave and go spend some time together celebrating, please feel free to leave right now. As I always say, make sure you're on time tomorrow morning. Dr. Bernier, would you please present your recommendation for this evening's public hearing?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, members of the board. Item Q1 is the approval to adopt the 2023-2024 student progression plan in compliance with the changes in related rules, regulations, and statutes, to adopt best practices and to promote transparency and accountability. The effective date of this adoption shall be October 4, 2023.
Thank you. We will now recess the regular school board meeting and open the public hearing. The time is 6:42. As indicated, the public hearing this evening is to consider Dr. Bernier's recommendation as previously stated. At this time, the public will be invited to speak on this one item. The time allowed for public comment is 3 minutes. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address this item? Please come forward.
Okay. Hello, my name is Katie. I'm currently a guest teacher, and I was just curious if the travel teaching thing was supposed to address the guest teachers. I currently am a recipient of the Grow Your Own Teacher Scholarship, so I've been going to school to become a teacher in Lee County. I was really curious if that travel teacher thing is also open to current guest teachers, because I think that would be a really great way to stay in a school sort of traveling and like getting my feet wet versus like just doing day-to-day subbing, which is what I've been kind of doing right now. And is there any, you mentioned like, I heard mentions about like benefits as well, which would be really nice because current guest teachers, we don't get benefits or any sort of job security, which is not nice to feel.
Okay, excuse me.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the comment now has to be only on this one item.
Oh, what's the item?
There's approval of a student progression plan.
Oh, I am
Okay.
so sorry.
Sorry
This is my
about
first
that.
time at a board meeting.
But-
Did she email us?
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
just a point of personal privilege. We have members of our team here in the audience who work with our Human Resource Division. They'll be more than happy to see you. They're going to see where you go back and sit down, and they'll make their way over to you. They'll be able to work with you and get your questions answered.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
and thank you. Any other speakers on this item? I will now close the public hearing and reconvene the regular school board meeting of October 3, 2023. The time is 6:44. Dr. Benier, would you please restate your recommendation for this evening's public hearing item?
Yes, sir. The item is Q1, approval to adopt the 2023-2024 Student Progression Plan in compliance with the changes in related rules, regulations, and statutes, to adopt best practices and to promote transparency and accountability. The effective date of this adoption shall be October 4, 2023.
Thank you. You have heard the superintendent's recommendation that the board approve to adopt the 2023 Student Progression Plan in compliance with changes in related rules, regulations, and statutes, to adopt best practices and to promote transparency and accountability. The effective date of this adoption shall be October 4, 2023. Board members, is there a motion to approve? Mr. Fisher?
Motion to approve the 2023-2024 Student Progression Plan.
Right, is there a second?
I'll second. Morgan?
Ms. Morgan? Is there any discussion? Seeing none, please record your vote. Okay, the motion passes 7-0. Dr. Benier, is there anything you would like to address regarding this public hearing? Any further?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you. We will now move on to the good of the order and other business. Board members' comments and reports. I'm going to start with our student. Casey, would you like to start?
Hi, I would just like to say thank you to everyone that is on the board for having me tonight, and also thank you to Cypress Lake High School for all of the opportunities that they have given me, making me a well-rounded student, and getting me to the place where I am now. Without the board, the school, and of course having like dual enrollment programs, allowing me to be in all the sports and different clubs that I am part of, I will not be here where I am today. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for supporting me, past, present, and future. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. Ms. Morgan, you mind? We'll start with you tonight.
No, I gave my comments this afternoon. The only comment I'd like to make this evening is kudos to the negotiating team. We have reached a tentative agreement, and I'm very excited to see this process complete. So those are my comments. Thank you.
Ms. Langford Fleming?
I do have a few things, yes. In regards to Mr. Daniels, I want every teacher to know, every educator, every staff member to know that if they have anything that they need to speak up about, we are here to listen. So please pass that word along. That's something I'm very proud of that this board adopted back in almost a year ago. I am so glad we have students back to entertain us with their multi-talents. It's awesome walking in here and you hearing that. So I was telling some board members that I played the saxophone in high school. I was nowhere near the talent that we saw in this room today. One thing I did want to say is I know Golden Apple applicants, the applications were due and turned in by September 18th. Good luck to all of those that are now in that second phase. We've got some all-star teachers in our district, so encourage you to continue on and pursue that. I was able to attend Rock the School and Game Day. Rock the School was something Amazing Heights Elementary did with their teachers, and then Tanglewood Elementary turned their whole entire school into this amazing arcade for their kids. It was just over the top wonderful. It got my elementary school chills all going again. So kudos to both of those schools. One thing I did want to say when it came to the acknowledgements of for the month, I'm not sure why, I don't know if this would be a motion or anything like that. I'm not sure why breast cancer awareness isn't part of our acknowledgements. I know that that's not something that students deal with, but we've had many educators going through that horrible illness. We've lost some amazing people due to that. I know that a colleague on the board today was talking about something she was going to do this month to acknowledge someone dear to her heart, and I am as well. So I don't know if that's something that we can add to our acknowledgements for the month of October. Attorney Bruno, is that something we can?
Ms. Langford, if you want to make a motion.
Yeah, the chair will entertain a motion.
I would like to make a motion that October is, that on the month of October is added Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the Lee County School District.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Fisher. We'll do a roll call. Oh, yeah, discussion?
Discussion and then public comment.
Okay. Public comment first, I'm sorry. Anyone like to make public comment? Okay. Any discussion, board? Yes, Ms. Jordan.
Okay, I believe that, not that I have anything against breast cancer awareness because it has affected people in my family as well, but I thought when we did this acknowledgements, there was a cadence of what was to be on this and what was not to be, and so I don't know where that falls in line, because I know, which I will bring up when it's my turn, there was something that was on here before that has been taken off of our acknowledgements. So I guess that would be to Ms. Dupree Bruno.
So the board does have some guidance in its protocol manual with regards to acknowledgements, and let me pull it up. So it's on page 12 in your protocol manual. School board acknowledgements are statements of honor and support. Acknowledgements brought before the school board for consideration must meet the following criteria: be in alignment with the vision, mission, and values of the school district, relate to one or more of the following areas: education, health, safety, or welfare of children and youth, history of a group, culture, heritage, family, community engagement and education, recognition of the work of district employees.
Thank you, Ms. Dupree Bruno. So I'm not sure where that lies.
Oh,
Health.
yeah, health. For sure. Okay, any other discussion? Seeing none, we'll do a roll call vote on this. Mr. Fisher?
Aye.
Ms. Giovanelli?
Aye.
Ms. Patrica?
Yes, please.
Ms. Jordan?
I'll go along with the board.
Ms. Langford Fleming?
Aye.
Ms. Morgan?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. We will add that to our acknowledgements for the future as well as for today.
I just had one more thing. Casey, you're like a girl after my own heart with your athletic background. Kinesiology is an incredible career path for you. I'm so glad to hear you're adding business along with it, because I feel like one day you're going to own your own PT business. So I encourage you to continue along that path. I'm a little jealous. I was a 5th grade teacher for about 8 years, and I kind of wish that you were on my kickball team when I was a 5th grade teacher, our kickball tournament. So I feel like you would have helped tremendously, but congratulations on how far you've come. And I know you don't know me, but I'm incredibly proud of who you are becoming. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Ms. Jordan?
Thank you. I have a few things. I also attended Tanglewood, the Rock Your School event, which you are correct, that was just an awesome day, just being in there with the students and the excitement that the students had and how much they really wanted to learn, because they were going to get those tokens to get a game or get something. So it was just all around, it was wonderful. I also attended Lehigh Senior High. Congratulations, it's their 30th year anniversary. It was a great day. It was hot as heck, but people were there, students were there, kids were performing. It was really a nice day. I attended the Mayor's Scholarship Ball, which is many of our students from the West Zone have received 4-year scholarships to universities or technical schools. So that's always a great event to see and to know that it is done and is going to a good place. I also had an opportunity to speak at the North Fort Myers Rotary Club, which was really nice to have that opportunity to do that. And of course, Franklin Park is coming along. That's exciting every day when you drive past there and you see the walls going up. I believe all the walls are up, and then now the rest of it's going to begin. But I also wanted to bring, today the word is respect. And this is something that was on our acknowledgements for years, and now it is off of there. And, you know, with the word respect and showing regards for the value of persons or thing through consideration, appreciation. And then I looked at this proclamation that was done at Orange County Public Schools. And this is regarding, this month is LGBTQ History Month, and that was very much a part of our acknowledgements in the past, and it has been removed. I'm not sure why it's no longer on here, but it is not, so I just wanted to acknowledge that fact. So thank you.
Ms. Patrica?
So, Casey, we sat here this afternoon for 3.5 hours, I think, and we worked really hard. Like, we received a lot of information from staff. We prepared ourselves to make some future decisions. Like, we don't talk a lot at this meeting, but this afternoon we received a lot. And by the end, I was calling people by their wrong name, and I was like delirious and not speaking very clearly. But you make it all worth it. Sitting here with you and seeing your achievements and hearing you speak, and you're the reason why we do this, and your presence here tonight is a very happy reminder of that for me. I do have a request. Will you please send me a copy of your flag football schedule? Seriously, because if it doesn't arrive in my inbox, I might not make it, but if you send it to me and it's in my inbox, I will definitely make it out to a game. I couldn't be more excited that Lee County is doing that this year, and I can see that there's some excitement surrounding the sport. So best of luck to you.
Oh my gosh.
You're good.
Thank you for that, and I will make sure that everyone on the board gets the first schedule once it is finalized. And I would love to see all of you guys out there.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Those are my comments.
Ms. Giovanelli.
Thank you. I just want to congratulate all the the promotions tonight and the new assignments. Welcome Casey, student rep, also congratulations being student athlete of the month. That's awesome. I just wanted to thank you for actually being the shining light in our meeting tonight. You really have been, so thank you. And I look forward to seeing what you're going to do in your future. You got a great future ahead of you, so thank you for that, for being a great student. I just wanted to thank the bargaining team. I am looking forward to continued support of all our staff employees. There's so much work still to be done, and I'm committed to continue that work. It is important to reinforce to staff to speak up and listen up. That culture really needs to be embedded in everything that we do. So it's really important that Mr. Daniels brought that up, because I've heard the same stories. They want to know the name and the school people are from when they make a statement somewhere, or who they were. So I think that's really irrelevant. It's more important of what they're saying that we need to hear and listen, right? So I think that's important. Please know you have my support on that Speak Up, Listen Up culture. October is National Bullying Awareness Month, and this is an opportunity to encourage the nation to act at the local level to create safe and supportive organizations. Bullying is unacceptable, and the comments or conduct that belittles or demonstrates hostility or hatred towards others is not to be tolerated. By being accepting, kind, and inclusive, you can always help make the world a better place. Let's bring awareness every day together. Thank you. That's it. Thank you.
Mr. Fisher.
Thank you. I'm going to echo the comments. Casey, amazing job. Just listening to you even back there when you were talking, I get exhausted by the amount of activities you do. You were amazing. One request, though, whenever you consider starting your business, I hope you do it in Lee County. So
Yeah.
we'd love to have you here. So great job by the Cape Coral High School band. That was awesome. I really enjoyed that today. Many of us just want to acknowledge and thank you to the Dr. Brenner and staff. Were able to attend many locations on Hurricane Ian Remembrance Day down to Fort Myers Beach. That was a moving and positive ceremony. So they're not all the way back, but there's progress there. We also went out to Lexington Middle School and saw that amazing gym. Great job to our construction staff on that. Looks great. We went over to Sanibel to commemorate what was going on with Ian, as kind of a cookout where Dr. Bernier even helped cook. Great job. Great tree planting as well, which was amazing. Great to see those students. And we finished up over at Hector Caffaretta in Northwest Cape Coral. I can tell you the Cape Coral community is really excited about that school. Also attended the Mayor's Scholarship Ball, had a great time there, and I thank the board there for doing that. Went to Rock Your School too at Tanglewood. Shout out to Tanglewood. You guys did an amazing job. I really enjoyed the idioms with little pictures and the flashlight. Took me a bit to get it, but it was amazing. I attended Cape Coral High School last week, the IB breakfast in the morning, where the students got to go over their senior IB essays and go over their topics, and I was absolutely blown away. We have some amazing students, so it was amazing. It was the topics from biology to just marine grass, everything. It was really cool, so kudos to them. Also, in regards to Speak Up, Listen Up, I agree with everyone up here. Make sure we know about it. It's important. Nobody should stay silent ever. And I hope that district, everyone acknowledges that and understands that. Last, I want to acknowledge again to teachers and staff. I'm excited. Thank you to our bargaining team and the district for as well coming to a tentative agreement. Teachers, staff, we support you and thank you for all you do. Thanks.
Thank you. Pretty much everybody has said everything that I wanted to say. Went to pretty much all the same events. There is one event coming up that wasn't mentioned. Riverdale High School is going to be celebrating their 50th anniversary of when it opened. Wow. And also the very first class to graduate is obviously doing their 50th reunion. Because it started out, I think, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So they're having actually a multiple they're all invited to the same one all those years. I guess that would be 73, 72, 73, 74, 75 graduating classes. But they were all there in 1973 when they opened. So congratulations to them. Of course, we're doing a huge rebuild there, and we're all excited about that. Dr. Bernier, do you have any, whoops, yes, Ms. Morgan.
So, Ms. Jordan made a comment about sort of an arbitrary change in our recognitions and acknowledgements. I think we need to talk about it as a board because we had agreed on what was being recognized and acknowledged on a monthly basis. And if individuals or there are decisions being made to change that, I think they ought to be brought to the board before those opportunities or expectations for acknowledgement arise. So just wanted to piggyback on what she said. Thank you.
Okay. I'll address that a little bit. The problem with that is everything that we acknowledge is open for discussion by teachers and students because we acknowledged it. And the new parental bill law that was passed says you may not have any discussions on sexual orientation and genders in most of the grades. So it becomes a very difficult position you're putting the teacher into do that. It's almost like if we recognize it, we say, yes, we'll recognize this, but you can't talk about it. You know, there's been several other, one district did a proclamation, another district said, I'm not touching it for various reasons. So under best practices, I think this board should just pass on those type of proclamations.
May I call a point of
Yes.
order? This is not the time for board discussion. If this
Okay.
is something we are to discuss, it should be placed on a workshop or a briefing agenda.
That'd be fine too.
Thank you.
Dr. Bernier, do you have any?
I think I'm next,
Sorry.
Mr. Chair.
You are next. I'm sorry. My apologies.
That's okay. I do have a couple of things, actually, a few things. The first is to thank operations for inviting legal to join them when they brought the Department of Education down to come and do the educational facility and the SREF training. That was really great, and we got 23 hours of continuing legal education from that as well, so it was all around a good thing. I do have a question for the board, because the board has already given us a consensus to move forward to second reading on the proposed policy as revised 2522, and we did hear a public comment, so I want some direction from the board. I'm going to read the document as it is. The following individuals, with an S, may contest the adoption of a specific instructional material or object to the use or object to the use of specific material used in a classroom made available in a school or classroom library or included on a reading list, A, parent of a student in the district, and B, resident of the county. For purposes of this policy, parent means a parent of a student enrolled in the district schools. Resident means a person residing in the county who has maintained their residence in Florida for the preceding year, has purchased a home that is occupied by them as their residence, or has established a domicile in Florida pursuant to Florida Statute 222.17. So the question that was raised is because we have A, a parent of a student in the district, and B, a resident of the county, whether or not you want to change that and to an or.
Ms. Patrica.
Does the law require that?
No, it does not. The law just makes sure that either a parent or a resident of the county can make the objection.
So I can't, I'm sorry, the way I learn and think, I can't listen to what you're saying. I need to actually read it and have it in front of me. So in your opinion, if I may, through the chair, in your opinion, does that and after that semicolon allow either a parent or a resident?
Yes.
If that's in compliance with the law, I see no reason to change it.
Any other comments?
No.
So then we move, yes, Ms.
My comment is, should we be having comments on this right now? Or should we be having a workshop on this?
No, because this was already approved to go to second reading, which is going to be on the 17th. So I want to make sure that I have the board's direction as to how you want me to move forward with that. So that's why I'm bringing it up. So if the board is okay, then we'll leave it as is and move it to second reading on the 17th. That's the will of
Yes.
the board? Okay, thank you. And then the last thing, I don't know, I still don't know how to pronounce it. I heard Ms. Langford Fleming say kinesiology?
Kinesiology.
Kinesiology. I had to look it up. I didn't know what it was, but I'm certain that I will use it in the future, and I hope that we keep in touch because I'll probably need your services. Congratulations, Casey, and best wishes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. No.
I'm not quite sure what I have to add. I would tell you that, first and foremost, I would like to just speak to Casey just for a moment. I had the luxury of, last weekend, but the weekend before last, to be out at Cypress Lake and watch a football game. Let's just say that the first half was not going the way Cypress Lake would have wanted it to, and yet her and her entire cheerleading team, which somehow she left off her resume, you're going to have some explaining to do, just were passionate and heartfelt. And I will tell you, just before the end of the half and as the second half started, Cypress started to make a comeback. And just the way you interacted with the fans and the way you interacted with your fellow students, you and your entire team of cheerleaders deserve all the credit in the world, because when the chips were down, you would never known it standing on the Cypress Lake sideline. So appreciate the hard work. It was nice. It's always nice when you can put a face with an event and know that you've been somewhere to watch them in their own element. And I'm telling you, I agree with Ms. Patrica. I think we all deserve a great opportunity to go out and watch a flag football game, because that's one element of you and your personality. Your stated career is another. And I just have this amazing feeling after discussing with you your speed. It will be fun to watch you on a flag football field. So looking forward to that schedule so that we all can look at our schedules and make that happen. I just want to echo the sentiments of the board related to both the teachers, our TALC union and our SPALC union, for really looking at the agreement that was there. I do agree with some of the public comment tonight. It's a start. I think we still have more to do, but we can only do so much on an annual basis and still meet the constitutional requirement of balancing a budget. We had a great Hurricane Ian update today. I want you to know with your action today in passing the consent agenda, you also provided opportunities for some of the additional sunshades to be either replaced because they're up for replacement, but many of them are due to Hurricane Ian. The principals and staff and children will be very appreciative of those sunshades as they start to go in. I do want to just recognize our wonderful communications team for their work related not only to everything having to do with Hurricane Ian, and we learned some of the other things they're working on today, but the work specifically around the Hurricane Ian annual anniversary. And then specifically, kudos to the team, but specifically to Adam Wright for his documentary. If the community has not seen the documentary, it's out on YouTube. It's a great watch. Adam Wright did amazing work, and looking forward to potentially recognizing him. And then without getting into the particulars, there were two specific requests at the last board meeting regarding an RSM audit and information on the millage. Both of those projects are moving forward. I have to have a meeting with the chair regarding RSM, and we definitely will make date certain by October 11th for the other presentation. So just wanted to make sure you had an update on those issues as well. Lastly, I just want to share some, I think, hurricane good news that we didn't really get to share today. Fort Myers Beach Elementary School is on track. Drywall finish is to be completed by October 12th. Paint will begin in some areas prior to that drywall finish on October 9th. Exterior footers for the chiller pad are being poured, and columns are getting ready for steel. Exterior fencing is completed, less the gates, which are in fabrication. Temporary AC units will be delivered, should have been delivered already on October 1st, and all mechanical, electrical, and plumbing is roughed in and ready for trim out. We are still on track for that school building to reopen towards the end of November. So I want you to know that, and want you to know that Fort Myers Beach, that'll be our next big event out at the beach. That'll be a different type of ribbon cutting. And a good opportunity for the community and for our students. So thank you for that opportunity.
Ms. Patrica, you want to?
Yeah, if I may, Dr. Bernier, when the FHSAA was down here for state championships for baseball, I gave Craig Damon, the executive director of FHSAA, a tour of the island, and he asked if he could be included or invited to the reopening of Fort Myers Beach Elementary. So I wanted to put that on your radar. Thank you.
We just had a number of staff members who would be responsible for that invitation nod their heads. They've got it.
All right. At this point, I'm sorry. Our next scheduled meetings. On Wednesday, October 11th, there'll be a board meeting workshop at 12 p.m. On Tuesday, October 17th, there'll be a board briefing at 1 p.m. and a board action meeting at 6 p.m. At this point, having no other business to come before this body, and seeing no objection, this meeting is adjourned. The time is 7:13 p.m.